Hey there! I am so glad you pressed play. So here's the thing. Today I just want to talk to you guys a little bit about faith, okay? I'm going to point out a couple scriptures about faith, then share some thoughts that I have, and then I'm going to share what I've been hearing in my spirit about faith, okay? You ready? Here we go. Okay, so the first scripture that I wanted to point out was James 2:26, which says, "For just as the body without the spirit is dead, so also faith without works is dead." Okay, so that's scripture number one. The second scripture I want to point out is Hebrews 11:1, which says, "Faith is the substance or the realization of things hoped for, the evidence or the confidence of things not seen." Okay. And so that's the second scripture, Hebrews 11:1. And then when I think about that phrase that we hear a lot, that childlike faith phrase, I think about scriptures like Matthew 18:2-5. And this is where Jesus is kind of saying that we should become like children or humble ourselves like children. Okay. So here's the thing. The last couple weeks or so, I've had this topic of faith on my mind. Okay. There have been some exciting things happening in my life lately, like an unexpected invitation to have a book signing, which I always wanted to have, but I didn't really know the how or the when or the where. And the thing is, I published my book in 2019. So here it is 2 years later, right? And I get this invite to have a book signing. And this is just one example of the types of things that, I'm experiencing. But when I think about it, I think I can attribute these things happening to the fact that, a couple years ago, I decided to intentionally not worry about the how, like how God was going to do something in my life. But I was just going to trust that it was going to get done, right? And so I think that that's where this kind of childlike faith thing comes into play. Because if you think about it, in a fairly, healthy household and family dynamic, kids don't really ever have to wonder, whether they'll be fed or bathed or just have their basic needs met, right? They just kind of have this trust that they won't be hungry or they won't go without what they need, And this is how I'm trying to approach life. Now, I don't always get it right, okay? Because as we grow up and experience the things of the world and just really experience life in general, we come to have experiences like betrayal and people in circumstances that are dream killers, or just really the injustices and the cruel and evil things that we sometimes experience in this fallen world, right? So these are the types of things that kind of disrupt that inner child that's within all of us, okay? So then that makes it harder for us to keep our imaginations and keep the joy and the simple things that kids experience, right? But nonetheless, it's important for us to remember to activate those kind of tools that we have that God's given us, like being able to visualize and be able to just have an imagination, okay? So with all that being said, these last couple weeks, I just wanted to share with you guys that God has really been just reminding me, and I've just been hearing in my spirit that whatever I'm trusting and believing Him for this year will happen by faith. Okay? I just keep hearing in my spirit, by faith, by faith, by faith. So if we circle back to Hebrews 11:1, even though I may not physically see with my eyes what I'm trusting God for, in the moment, my faith is going to be that substance of what I'm hoping for that's going to happen. And then, I'm just not going to sit back and be idle, but I'm going to put in the work for what I'm trusting God for. What we desire doesn't magically appear. We actually have to work for it. And I'm not just talking about the material things. I'm not just talking about, going to work to get a check and all these types of things. But I'm talking about even in our spiritual lives, if we want to see something happen, if we want to grow, we have to put in the work, like studying and researching. And, that's the type of work that we have to put in. We have to work for it, right? So, and sometimes that even means that we have to ask God, what step is next? What step do I take next? Because sometimes we just don't know, right? And so then we have to actually take the time to listen and move and do what it is that your spirit is telling you to do. Okay? So here we are approaching a new year, and I just wanted to stop by and encourage you as I'm encouraging myself today, okay? And remind you that whatever that it is that you're trusting and believing God for, it's on the other side of your faith, okay? And the last thing I'll say about this is that, so many times we read in the Bible where Jesus is teaching, or, he's just being, out with the people. We read phrases like, your faith has made you well, or your faith has healed you, or your faith has saved you, right? So we see that over and over and over again. So that's important. So I'm challenging you, I'm challenging myself that we're going to approach this year by faith, okay? By faith, we're going to do it. So if you haven't checked out my new and improved website, where you can book life coaching services, you can purchase products, and just connect with me, I'm going to provide 4 links below. One of them is where you can book your free awakening call with me. You can book a coaching package. And then there's one link where I added where you can shop directly from my website for my handmade jewelry and accessories. And then I've got my my direct Mary Kay website link as well. See my Mary Kay face. And then I'm also going to include a link to a great article I stumbled upon while I was preparing for this video. And it's just talking about childlike faith. And I thought it was a good article to share. So I'll put that below as well. So remember to keep evolving on your unique by design journey. And until next time, I'll see ya.